Welcome to our research paper presentation. We are a team of two and we have researched on different software models that are currently being implemented in the market. Our research paper is titled Why Agile Dominates Other Software Model. I am Srinivas and I'll spend a few minutes of time by giving an overview of our research paper. My team member Ramnath will be explaining certain terms related to Agile software development. As seen from the Dilbert comics, for any organization or a startup, the basic goal is to develop a quality product which is bug-free, cater to the needs of the customer, and one which easily adapts to future changes. The Agile model of development helps in achieving these goals. According to Jeffrey Moore, there is a chasm created between the early adopters and the early majority. For an entrepreneur, it's very important for him to choose the best software model. This helps to cross the chasm and get the product into the mainstream market, which in turn helps in increasing its revenue. In our research paper, we focus how Agile model helps to successfully cross the chasm. We have divided our research paper into 4 parts. Firstly, our paper presents the various development phases of traditional software models such as the V model, waterfall model, spiral model and their corresponding drawbacks. Secondly, our paper explains the terminologies in Agile such as the Scrum, feature-driven development and the extreme programming. Thirdly, our paper discusses the adoption rates of Agile model at various companies and why this model is being viewed as the new business of innovation. Lastly, the paper portrays the different case studies that are related to Agile software development. Let me talk a bit about the traditional software models. The earliest model of all was the waterfall model. The waterfall model followed the structured approach having a sequence of steps. Some of the phases are the requirements phase, the design phase, implementation phase, verification and finally the maintenance phase. The development process progresses as one phase is completed before the next. However, some of the main drawbacks of waterfall model were that it involved a great deal of time and effort for planning and designing the project, which led to wastage of resources. It also couldn't adapt to the changing customer requirements and focused more on the documentation of the project. Next came the spiral model. It followed the concepts of the waterfall model but was iteration based. It used both the top down and the bottom up approaches. Here the project was divided into mini projects. This model helped in reducing the risks involved in the project. However, the main drawback of the spiral model was that it needed expertise and knowledge in implementing this model. And lastly was the V model, which is also known as the verification and validation model. In this process, it is bent upon in the form of V after the implementation phase. As seen from the slide, the biggest disadvantage of the V model is that it is very rigid and least flexible. Now that I have talked about the traditional software models, let me hand over the presentation to Ramnath, who is going to talk about the Agile model of development.
Hello everyone. As you have come to know by now, our main paper is based on Agile methodology. What exactly is Agile? Agile model is a lightweight framework for developing software projects. This is what can be seen from the slide. Let me give you a brief overview on Agile. What is Agile? Agile term was formulated in Agile Manifesto by a set of 17 developers way back in 2001. As Srinivas mentioned, our goal in any project is to develop a bug-free and a product exactly catering to the customer's requirements. The traditional software models were rigid in their approach and gave more emphasis on documentation, whereas Agile is based on incremental and iterative approach. Each iteration is for 2 to weeks long duration. The traditional software models were designed the project based on the predefined customer needs, and after the project was over, it was handed over to the customer. The customer at this time would carry out acceptance testing to ensure that the project delivered to him has been given to him as per the requirements specified earlier during the start of the project. there will be no interaction with the customer during the development phase in traditional software models. Whereas in Agile, there is constant interaction between the customers and the team preparing the project, and they are prepared to make any changes at whatever stage the customer says so. The customer is the king is the motto followed in Agile methodology. In Agile, more emphasis is given to constant interaction between the team members to understand the progress of the project and the steps needed to be carried out for a successful outcome. Mutual communication is of prime importance given in Agile methodology. As you will see in subsequent slides, mutual communication between the customer as well as between the team members is of prime importance in any software project for a successful outcome of the project. In Agile, the importance is given more to the individuals and interactions over the processes and tools. Let me give you a brief overview on a key term used in Agile known as Scrum. Now, what actually is Scrum? In many software journals and software documents, you would see Scrum to be denoted in capital letters. Some companies do spell it in capital letters. So, is it an acronym? No, it's not an acronym. Scrum makes use of iterations and is increment based. The main roles in Scrum are divided into three parts. The three roles are done by the Scrum Master, the product owner, and a team. I'll be giving you a brief summary of each of the role of each member in Scrum. So what does Scrum Master do? The Scrum Master ensures that the Scrum process is used as intended, protects the team and keeps them focused to the project. The product owner is said to be the voice of the customer. He ensures that the team delivers the value to the business as per the customer's requirements. The team comprises of 5 to 9 people of diverse backgrounds and experiences who are directly related to the working of the project. They are the people responsible to design, to implement, to maintain the project, and to see to it that whatever they do is as per the customer's requirement as specified by the product owner. They are directly responsible to deliver the project on time and to the customer with the specified requirements. The key principle of Scrum is to recognize the fact that during the project the customers can change their minds about what they want, and you must be ready and adapting to whatever are the changes and the requirements. To summarize, Scrum reduces the defects and furthermore makes the development process more efficient. This slide is a classic example of how there is miscommunication. I had mentioned to you before in one of my slides that I'll be telling you about miscommunication, how it affects the outcome of a software project. As you can see over here on the top left part of the slide, this is what the customer had explained the project to be, and as you can see the subsequent steps, each step led to a different outcome of whatever was required. If you can see at the end, the customer really needed completely different than what was actually thought of by those working in the team. Furthermore, the customer was billed for an amount which was very much higher than what the customer had actually expected it to be. Do you think the acceptance testing would be working in this case? Do you think the customer would actually take the product? No, no way. The customer won't actually buy this product after the project is over. I hope our presentation was informative, and thank you for viewing.